Researched Harry very carefully and knew exactly what buttons to press, that he would like Africa, was interested in animals, was interested in philanthropy. She's very tactile, she's very seductive, and she landed him on the first night, even on his own admission. He says, I realized on the first date, she was the one. And of course, that's because she's also a great, in that sense, an actress. She knew exactly how to play.
Hey, quick one. This royal story isn't as perfect as it sounds. Stick around, and if you're into behind-the-scenes drama like this, hit subscribe so you don't miss what's coming next. Meghan Markle has always described her wedding to Prince Harry like a real-life fairy tale. But Tom Bower paints a totally different picture, and it's way more intense than people expected. He lays out what he claims are 10 dark truths behind that royal wedding. And trust me, number 7 is wild enough to make anyone pause for a second. Bower argues the marriage wasn't some random love story, but something far more planned out. According to him, Meghan had been aiming for a higher social circle for years, looking for someone powerful and well-connected.
You're absolutely right. I mean, what I discovered was, of course, that she was hunting for a man in England from 2013 onwards, when her marriage had crashed and she couldn't find anyone in Canada at the time. And she wanted wealth and she wanted fame. And she targeted, there's no doubt she targeted Harry and found someone who was a childhood friend of his who could introduce them. And then on the days before they met at their blind meeting in a club in London, she researched Harry very carefully.
Then Harry entered the scene, and everything allegedly shifted fast. Bower suggests the timing of her split from Trevor Engelson and the start of her relationship with Harry wasn't just coincidence, but part of a bigger move toward the life she had always imagined.
This particular saga at Sandringham, which obviously was told by someone who was there, was a decisive moment. I mean, it's the moment where effectively she says to Harry that you've got to dump all your friends. And none of those people at his shooting weekend were then invited to the dinner after the wedding. I mean, that was the crunch, that she separated him from his hinterland. And of course, he does suffer now enormously.
And once she stepped into that world, there was no turning back. It was full speed ahead into royalty, no hesitation. Meghan once said in an interview that she didn't know much about the royal family before meeting Harry. But Bower strongly disagrees.
No, why did Harry never go to meet Thomas?
Why is that?
Well, I think because Meghan didn't want him to meet a fat old man. I mean, Meghan was very worried. That's why she brought her mother across the wedding just 2 days before the ceremony.
What do we know about her mum? Her mum's a mysterious figure.
Very mysterious. The book tells it all. I mean, the mother really was a very odd woman, disappeared for 10 years effectively during her childhood. That's why Thomas had to bring her up. And in the end, what Thomas says is that it was Doria who really engineered the split between himself and Meghan, because she wanted the fame and the glory.
He claims she went full research mode, digging into everything about Harry, his life, and the royal system like she was building a full profile. Then things reportedly got tense with Harry's inner circle. Bower says Meghan created distance between Harry and some of his closest friends. At a 2017 Sandringham shooting weekend, she allegedly called out jokes she felt crossed lines around sexism, feminism, and transgender topics. And that didn't sit well with everyone there. It didn't stop there either.
The same then happened when they went to Tommy Inskip's wedding in Jamaica, which was a great friend of Harry's, who in the end was banned from the dinner after their wedding.
Yeah, well, I know at least 3 of the very good friends were apparently
banned, all by Meghan.
And then they saw all these celebrities filing it.
Exactly.
Who'd known her about 3 minutes.
Yeah, if that.
At a pre-wedding event in Jamaica for one of Harry's friends, Meghan was reportedly seen as distant and critical, even complaining about the food and service. That kind of behavior, according to these claims, pushed people further away.
The whole problem she found with this last Vanity Fair issue, the hustle issue, is that she couldn't control the content. And she is somebody who believes, understandably, she's got to control everything down to the last full stop.
And suddenly, some of Harry's longtime friends weren't as close as before. Behind the scenes, things were already shifting, and not everyone was on board anymore. And that's just the beginning of what was happening around the wedding. This next part gets even more tense. Some of these moments almost changed how the whole wedding played out, so don't miss where this leads. One of the most surprising claims is that King Charles reportedly asked Meghan to fly to the United States and fix things with her father before the wedding.
That is everything that matters. She's a creature of Hollywood. She knows that celebrity images is what earns the money. and that's what she must protect.
He allegedly wanted her to meet him face to face and calm the situation before it spiraled further. But Meghan is said to have refused, pointing to security risks and privacy concerns. That decision didn't sit well with senior royals at all, and suddenly, what was supposed to be a joyful moment had a layer of tension hanging over it. Then there's the emotional side of things. Bauer claims that during the engagement, Harry often drew comparisons between Meghan and his late mother, Princess Diana.
That's always been the view of many people, that she will dump him when he is no longer much use. But she'd have to have an escape route. She'd have to find a sort of a Silicon Valley or somehow aging billionaire that would want to take her on. I don't think she'd walk into the wilderness. I can't imagine any man finding happiness with Meghan Markle. I mean, I think it'll be pretty difficult.
While some saw it as heartfelt, others inside the royal circle reportedly viewed it very differently. They felt those comparisons were uncomfortable and even inappropriate, especially given Diana's legacy and everything she represented. Details like the wedding veil, the storytelling in interviews, and the overall presentation seemed, at least to critics, to push that connection even further. And for many watching closely, that didn't go unnoticed. Princess Diana had built her reputation over years of public service, so some felt these comparisons came too soon and stirred emotions that were already sensitive.
That she was Diana was always a fantasy both of herself and of Harry. And Harry completely misunderstood his mother, who he obviously barely knew, and didn't realize what a manipulative and determined woman she was herself. So he completely misjudged the comparison between Meghan and his mother. And his mother had amazing status. She looked beautiful. She had terrific poise. She worked very hard at being a royal. She was very empathetic with a lot of sick people. None of the things that Meghan would ever dream of doing.
As the wedding approached, the pressure behind the scenes only grew. Palace staff were working non-stop to make everything perfect, but reports suggest Meghan's approach created friction. Her attention to detail and strong preferences reportedly clashed with long-standing royal traditions, and she wasn't quick to compromise. That led to frustration among staff, with some feeling overwhelmed or constantly corrected. During discussions about the bridesmaid dresses, Princess Catherine reportedly offered input, but those suggestions were turned down. It may have seemed small, but moments like that added up and created visible tension between the two. Staff were said to feel under pressure, dealing with constant changes and high expectations. Some even avoided direct conversations because they expected new instructions or last-minute adjustments every time. The atmosphere behind palace doors was starting to feel anything but calm. Bauer also suggests that image played a huge role in all of this. He claims Meghan, and the Sussex brand overall, was very focused on shaping how they were seen publicly. The wedding build-up wasn't just about tradition, but also about presenting a polished, modern image, even if that sometimes clashed with royal expectations. And then came the media spotlight, with moments like the 2017 Vanity Fair cover making everything even more public than ever. And what happened next only added more pressure. The Vanity Fair headline read, "She is just wild about Harry," and that reportedly didn't sit right with Meghan at all. She allegedly wanted the spotlight on her charity work, not just her relationship. But critics quickly pointed out that the romance had already taken center stage, and there was no separating the two anymore. From that point on, many believed Meghan was trying to carefully control how the world saw her, making sure every appearance, every story, and every headline matched the image she wanted to project. Still, critics argue that things didn't fully go as planned, and that's where Tom Bauer's claims get even more intense. According to Bauer, Meghan's ambition was on another level. He suggests her goal wasn't just influence, but something much bigger. He claims she aimed for the very top, wanting power and status far beyond what she had before. These are strong accusations, but they've definitely fueled ongoing debate around her intentions. Bauer even argues that Harry's role in all of this came at a cost. He claims the situation created tension between Harry and his own family, putting him in a difficult position publicly and privately. And while royal titles and positions are always complex, critics have speculated about what the future could hold for both of them. In an interview with Closer magazine, Bauer said, "Meghan Markle wants to be Queen Kate Middleton has everything Meghan Markle wants. Kate is glowing. Kate is successful. Kate is popular. Everything that Meghan wanted." He goes further, suggesting Meghan didn't want to remain lower in the line of succession, adding even more weight to the narrative he's presenting. But here's where it gets even more interesting. Some critics believe there may have been a plan all along, Looking back, they point to the wedding guest list, filled with major Hollywood names, as more than just celebration. At the time, it seemed like a mix of two worlds, but now some say it looked more like strategic networking. The idea is that connections were being built quietly, relationships forming behind the scenes, and opportunities lining up long before any public shift away from royal life. And when deals with streaming platforms, books, and media projects later appeared, critics started connecting the dots. Bauer takes it even further, describing the wedding as more than just a royal event. He frames it as a calculated step into a bigger spotlight. According to that view, every moment added momentum, and what came next only made people question things even more. And now the final piece. This is where all those claims come together and it gets seriously intense, so don't miss this ending. Bauer makes one of his boldest claims here, saying Harry may have been the perfect stepping stone in Meghan's rise. He even suggests that if someone more powerful or influential came along, she wouldn't hesitate to move on. That's a heavy accusation, and it's exactly why this topic keeps people talking. Critics who agree with Bauer often point to what they see as a pattern. They say she moved on from her first marriage when it no longer matched her goals, created distance from her father during difficult moments, and stepped away from friendships that didn't fit her path anymore. From this perspective, they argue these decisions weren't emotional, but strategic. Bauer's overall claim is that loyalty, in this case, is tied to opportunity. He suggests that Harry gave up a lot: his royal role, military titles, close relationships, and the life he once knew. And according to that viewpoint, all of it may have been part of a much bigger shift that centered around Meghan's long-term ambitions. He even speculates about a future scenario. If someone with more influence, more wealth, and bigger opportunities appeared, Meghan could choose a different path without looking back. Again, these are claims and opinions, but they've definitely added fuel to an already intense public conversation. At the same time, Harry's actions during their relationship have also been closely watched. When they first got together, he seemed fully committed to protecting Meghan, sometimes pushing beyond royal expectations. One moment that stood out was during the tiara selection, where reports claimed Harry reacted strongly, saying, "What Meghan wants, Meghan gets." That reportedly caused tension, especially with the Queen. Harry was also said to have stepped back from friends who raised concerns, choosing instead to fully support Meghan through everything. During the wedding planning, he reportedly shielded her from criticism and pushed back against any pressure coming from tradition or staff. That level of protectiveness, while personal, is said to have created even more strain behind palace doors. So there you have it, 10 claims and perspectives presented by Tom Bauer about Meghan and Harry's wedding, each one adding another layer to a story that still has people debating today. Which of these stood out to you the most? Drop your thoughts below, and if you want more breakdowns like this, make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss what's coming next.